All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. We are excited to be on the webinar just to go through some exciting updates that have happened in EDlumina. So, from the last time that we did a webinar that highlighted all of the different features within our CRM, we've had a lot of really cool upgrades happen. So, I'm excited to be on with you today and just show you some of the new things that are within the platform. If you would like, go ahead and jot down my email address. It is on the screen. This will be the best way to reach me. So if you would like to ask any questions outside of the webinar or schedule more of a one-on-one demo, please email me. I'd love to connect with you. But you will have time throughout the entire webinar to ask questions. So pop them in that Q&A area, and we will try to get to all of your questions as we go through. But we do have someone joining us today on the webinar. I'm excited to have Scott Shelton, the creative director of Scholar House Media, joining me. So, Scott, why don't you give a little intro?
Absolutely. Hey, guys, thanks for having me. Scott Shelton, creative director here at Scholar House Media. This is our wonderful studio here. We help Cyanna do all things creative. Ashley and I are travel buddies. We just got back from the ACS conference, the American Association of Cosmetology Schools. So I think there might be more than a few cosmetology schools that are on this webinar today. So if so, welcome. Myself, I first started working with Cyanna, so I know the EDlumina platform. I've worked in admissions and career schools as well, so happy to add to the conversation today however I can. Thanks for having me, Ashley.
Awesome. Yes, thank you. Yes, Scott does work with a lot of our EDlumina clients just to provide all sorts of different marketing things, but from
marketing things. That's
website,
exactly what we do.
SEO, EDlumina connections, all of the things. So
Correct.
he's great. His input will be very valuable today. So thank you for joining us.
We hope so. All right.
Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pop into EDlumina just to cover again some basic updates that have happened from the last time you got to see this platform. So what you're looking at right here is our CRM. So if you guys do not have a CRM, I definitely encourage you to go ahead and email me to get a demo scheduled, because all schools should have a CRM. It is the foundation of your school. Your CRM is really what allows you to manage all of your leads as they come in, to make sure no leads are slipping through the cracks, and to make sure that you're just giving really good follow-up and ultimately enrolling as many students as possible. So this is our dashboard. So within the EDlumina platform, I'm down here under dashboard, and this just gives you a really good visual of some of the data that is within the system. So our dashboard has improved from the last time that you saw it. So as you can see on here, there's a lot of information. You can set any sort of custom date range on here. But what I really want to highlight is something that I think could be very valuable for a lot of the schools that are watching today. We have a lot of clients who are using EDlumina who maybe only have one campus, or maybe they have two campuses, but all of your enrollments are coming from the same state. So this map right here is a very valuable tool because you can see where your enrollments are coming from. Now, we only used to be able to show you where your enrollments are coming from by state. So as you hover over the different states, you would see how many enrollments are coming. Like I mentioned, though, for those schools who have most of their enrollments coming from the same state, we wanted to be able to provide some valuable information. So we've now added the ability for you to go in and view your enrollments by zip code. And so while you're looking at the states, you can see exactly what zip codes where your enrollments are coming from by zip code. So this is very valuable so that you can just see, is there a particular region that most of my enrollments are coming from? Are there certain high schools based on this data I should be going and targeting and having conversations with students at? So very useful information right here.
So you don't want to be sending out your high school rep. And I know that, not all colleges employ a high school rep, but that time is extremely valuable, right? And so you want to make sure that they are actually going to where they can get a student a referral, or have some sort of like a like, what's the word I'm looking for, rapport with that guidance counselor, those students, and say, hey, so and so actually went to school here, blah blah blah. The other piece is all of your digital campaigns have a geofencing capability at this point. I don't care if it's social or if it's a placed video, pay-per-click, like your display ads. You can really like geofence in. So one of the most critical pieces of information you can get out of your CRM is where are my leads coming from? So you're not wasting any of those marketing dollars. So you can really kind of geofence in. I know for a fact my students come from these areas. So you can see what campaigns are truly driving engagement and where you can put those dollars.
Love that. That's a great point. So yes, outside of even just being able to see that data within EDlumina, like Scott was alluding to, you can see exactly what ads are being clicked on that lead to a lead coming into the system. So
Exactly.
you do get a lot of very valuable marketing information. And then just again, knowing the area that your students are coming from is huge. So the next update that I do want to share with you is a very basic update, but we did improve our search bar. So we have some search bar enhancements. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail on that other than now as you are searching your leads, you will see that they do appear. So it does make for a much more user-friendly experience as you are using the search bar. So I do just like to point that out because it's always nice to know the new things that are in the platform and just how to use them and why we did what we did.
Great.
So another very exciting update that happened in EDlumina that was highly requested that we're pumped about is custom fields. So you now have the ability within EDlumina to create custom fields. So I'm in a lead profile right now, and this is where all of that student data lives, whether it's your message history, and again, within EDlumina, you're doing your texting, your emails, your automated messages, your mass messages, all of that lives within here. But down here, if I scroll in this white area, you will see that you have a custom field section. So now within EDlumina, if there is not a field already created with information that you need, you can add that in here. And this is really beneficial for capturing information, whether it's coming from your website into EDlumina or just a field that you are completing as you are talking to students. So I'm showing you what it looks like here in the lead profile, but I'm going to pop up here under administration to custom fields because I just want to show you the functionality of creating a custom field. So when you do go in to create a custom field, you can either make it open text field or drop down. So again, whether you're putting that data into the platform or you're having it come from your website, you can definitely set it up where it's an open text field or a drop down and you are gathering that information. And the last thing I will note before I turn it over to you, Scott, about
Sure.
custom fields is you also have the ability to pull searches by your custom fields, which is also really huge.
Wow.
So if you're gathering uniform sizes or anything like that, and you want to say within this cohort, I want to know how many small uniforms I need to order. You can simply, and again, I guess I should back up. I'm on the lead activity page and I'm going to advanced search, and all of my custom fields will now appear on this screen where I can easily go in and select what custom field I'm searching for. That way I can pull whatever data I need regarding that custom field.
So this could be either a drop down or where
Mhm.
they're able to provide any sort of like a short answer.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Great.
And I can tell you, I actually just was having a conversation with the school this morning. And one of the ways that they would definitely use this custom field is having it on their website, part of their web form, saying, do you prefer English or Spanish? So
Right.
that they know when they are communicating with a student, what is their language preference? And having that come in, and you can set that, which I'm going to show on my screen right now. You can set that custom field to appear as one of your headers, so that when a lead comes in, your rep can automatically see that information. So if it's critical, what language do they want me to communicate with them in? That can appear right here on this very first screen, so that immediately when your rep is sending out that initial text or email, they know what template to select. Should it be in Spanish? Should it be in English? I
Right.
mean, those pieces of information are
Right.
critical.
Right. Because at the core of EDlumina and really anyone's admissions process, there are some core pieces: name, email, phone number, campus, and program. But, each school knows what's critical to their individual admissions process or their
Right.
or their programs, right? So this allows that additional customization that can be embedded into your site. So
Mm-hmm.
and so even things like, how did you hear about us? Right. That's a very common open field. Folks can either, choose from that drop down or say, oh, from a friend, or like I heard you on the radio, or I might
Yes.
be dating myself, that they heard that they heard about you on the radio. But however they heard about you, you could see, are my efforts working
Yeah.
on the marketing side of things? So yeah, that's great.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome.
Great. Perfect. And just a few more updates to go through with you guys. So, within the lead profile as well, we have added some other information. So, on a lead profile, you now have the ability to add documents. So, most of you are aware that within EDlumina, you already had a document feature. So, there's a student portal involved with EDlumina, and students can log into EDlumina and they can complete documents, they can sign documents, they can even make a payment. So if you build out your application within EDlumina, they can complete the application, sign it, and then we do process a payment. So if you had an application fee, all of that can be done. And they can also upload documents, so whether it's a driver's license, diploma, anything like that. What we've added now, though, is the ability for you to upload documents that students won't be able to see. So sometimes you may have a document that's private,
like a checklist, and or internal notes about how the enrollment interview went, or whatever.
Exactly. So before, all of your documents would be stored there and the student would see the documents under the document section. Now within a lead profile, if I scroll down, right here under general comments, I can choose any file and I can upload a file and save it. So really what's great about this is, again, you get that privacy where the student is not seeing the document, but it also does help you from just a record keeping standpoint. It is so nice to stay organized and have all of your documents in one spot and not have some documents here, we have some in this filing cabinet, we have some in that closet over there. Having everything just consolidated in one spot where you can find everything easily. And then again, obviously with those privacy features. And I mean, you've ran schools before.
Oh, yeah.
So the record keeping is a very key component.
It is. And to your point earlier, when you have those student facing documents, it's really nice to have a CRM that can give a student a quick glance picture of where they are in the process, what they have to still upload, because signing up for school can be a lot, right? It can be a stack of documents, right? And so seeing where they are in the process, a lot of folks don't consider the student experience when it comes to the CRM. Right. And so, getting them from your website into your CRM is one thing, but now they're interacting with that. And it's like what you were talking about yesterday with Jen Lyles. Gen Z students, younger students, expect a higher end experience from a technology side, right? They're very tech savvy. And so having all these documents online is extremely important. It keeps everyone on the same page, whether the documents are public facing or private, just internal to your team. And it does help from a compliance standpoint.
That's
right?
so true.
So
no, and I like your point too of not only for the user experience from the student, but also the rep. I mean, your reps want a clean platform that they can go in and work out of. And so having everything in one spot is definitely very important, and it makes their life easier knowing that they can go in and access any document that they need to. They can reference information, or if they're on the phone with the student and they need to reference a document, they can pull it all up here, and it's not, let me put you on hold so I can go dig for a document.
And this can be from home. This is not just on the network in the office. They can access the all these documents if they need to prep at night, but before they come into the campus, right? They have access to all that stuff. And, a lot of people on this call already know admissions turnover can be a real detriment to any school, any type of school. So giving your reps the best tools possible keeps them engaged, keeps them on staff, and just helps your overall bottom line.
Yes. And I think the turnover is another just good point before we move on to the next thing, just to touch on that. You also are just being very safe and having all your documents in one spot, and you're not risking a rep leaving and you not having the information that you need. And also, just to also make it clear, within that lead profile, you do get your whole message history too. And I think that is also key. You do see the entire conversation, whether it's text or email. So you can pick up right where that conversation left off. So just again, from like a compliance standpoint of having everything in one spot, whether it's documents or messaging or anything like that, it's all here.
Yeah. And because oftentimes it's not just issues of you actually like losing a rep. Maybe the rep's out sick. Maybe they have a baby, right? So having having access for everyone there is just really important.
Yes, love that. Love that. Great. And we have one other exciting EDlumina update, and that is our calendar. So we are very excited about the calendar enhancements that we've made. So calendars are great. You can view them based on user, based on campus. So you have different ways that you can look at your calendar. Obviously, what you're seeing on here too, you can look at month, week, day, just for the sake of a demo site and showing you a prettier calendar. I did the month so you can see a little bit more of the activity going on here. But there are some really cool things that we've added to the calendar. So first and foremost, you can now set reoccurring general events. So before you couldn't have a reoccurring event. So you would go look at the calendar and you may have a morning meeting from 9 to 9:15 every day. There was no way on your calendar to block that off so that people knew like, hey, I shouldn't schedule an appointment for her at that time because So now you can do that. So you can have those reoccurring meetings, which is just huge from staying organized and making sure you know what's going on and keeping your calendar nice and organized and not overbooking yourself. But you also down here in this little corner, and I'll zoom in a little so you can see that a little more clearly, you can now receive a daily digest at 9 a.m. Eastern. So what that means is the rep will receive a email to their inbox every morning at 9 a.m. saying, hey, here's all of the things that you have going on for today. And that is awesome because obviously they can go in, they can look at their calendar, they can see what's going on. But having that first thing when you walk in the door and sit down in your inbox, just a quick list of here's what I'm expecting to go on today. It really just helps set the tone for the day, keeps you organized, you know what's going on. And the other thing that we've added are alerts. So before an event is about to happen, you can set different alerts of I want to be alerted this many minutes beforehand so that I know I can be reminded and I'm not distracted and losing track of time.
Right.
So those are very important and it does help you as you are prepping for an appointment to be walking in the door. The last thing you want is to be caught up in the middle of something and not on your A game, giving a really good first impression.
And it's nice to have all of these things in the same platform, right? So you don't have to have other alerts elsewhere. It's all within this same system. And what you said was really important there. You know, your time is money. And so if this helps with student engagement, lead management, if your reps are not adequately working these leads, working with these students, right? The students are going to have a great experience and they're less likely to enroll.
Yes.
So, yep.
Awesome. That's great. Well, those are all of the EDlumina updates. Scott, do you have anything to add before I wrap things up?
No, I think this is just the next logical step forward. What I love about EDlumina is when we get the feedback from our existing clients, we're able to implement them, and then that rolls out to every person on the platform. So if we gain a best practice like a number of these that we saw today, that rolls out to every client on the platform. So this is just another step of what is a pattern of EDlumina, improving and then sharing those with everyone on the on the platform. So this has been great, and it's been great working with you guys. We just wrapped up our ACTS conference presentation, and a piece of that presentation for those that were not there is how to leverage your CRM, such as EDlumina, for student engagement. So if you want a copy of that, it was a joint effort between Cyanna and Scholar House Media. We use Douglas J. Aveda Institutes as a living, breathing sort of a case study, if you will, on how the platform is best used in conjunction with their website, with their social media, and with all of their advertising. So if you want a copy, reach out to Ashley. You have her email from earlier. So happy to be here today, and thanks for the time.
Awesome. Yes, thank you so much, Scott. And thank you, everyone, for hopping on. I know we had some current clients on, too, so they can definitely attest to what Scott was saying in terms of us really listening and valuing customer feedback. We really do have an aggressive roadmap of lots of improvements that are in the pipeline, and we're always looking for feedback. So we will be sure to keep you posted on any other exciting news within EDlumina. But stay tuned for the next webinar. That will be being announced here soon, and we will make sure that we put that out there so you can register and join us. My email is listed on the screen, so please reach out again if you would like to schedule time to chat one-on-one, have a demo, or I'm more than happy to get you in touch with Scott Shelton. Again, he's a really awesome resource to help with anything marketing. So I'd be more than happy to connect you with him. But thank you guys so much for your time today. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to talking with you soon.